Okay, so my name is Ellie Bonfil. I'm the technical coordinator of ProBleu. So welcome to everybody to our fourth call info session. And I'm going to start introducing you a little bit the project. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so ProBleu is a European project from with 6 partners from different countries, Spain, Portugal, and UK. And our aim is to promote ocean and water literacy in schools all over Europe. Let me see how to close this. Right. I know how to make this disappear. Okay, I imagine that it will disappear. Hello. Sorry, one moment. I don't know why it's this here. Gonna stop and start again. Okay, maybe now. Okay, so no, no.
Moving the cursor down,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe, yeah. I don't know why sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know why. If somebody knows how to do it.
We are seeing your presentation, but
Yes?
what's the problem? Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to continue. ProBleu, as I told you, is a project that promotes ocean and water literacy in schools in Europe and associated countries. The idea is to promote marine and freshwater ecosystems in the schools. And also in our project, we want to fund these ocean and freshwater literacy projects that are trying to promote these ideas. And we want to fund projects that engage students, teachers, but also the wide community with this idea, no, to promote this conservation and this sense of responsibility of ocean and water literacy, of ocean and water masses. All the projects that we want to fund should implement ideas that contribute to achieve also the objective of the European Union mission, restore our ocean and waters. And also all the projects that we want to fund should be useful to schools to be part of the network of European Blue Schools. So if you are not familiar to Blue Schools, the idea is that are schools that are engaging students into marine, maritime, and water-related topics to create awareness and this feeling of responsibility for our ocean, but also for our water, freshwater ecosystems around the school. This is all the schools, the Blue Schools in Europe are associated to a network, the network of European Blue Schools, that is coordinated by the U4Ocean Coalition, that it's a coalition of different entities, companies, NGOs, research center, all the most important entities related to ocean literacy in the European Union. And in this network, by the moment, there are 657 schools. This is the last data. As if you see the map, this is the last public data, but we have we have the last updated data from the network from last week. That it's this number 657. Most of them are in the Mediterranean basin. And some of the schools that apply to be part of this network have done it several times. Because of this, you will see that the number of schools and the number of certificates is different because some schools have more than one certificate. And schools that want to be part of this network have to apply twice per year. Now the call is open until the 13th of May. And you have to send your application, and if you fill some criteria, you can be part of this network. All the schools that will be funded or have been funded by ProBleu will be automatically accredited as a European Blue School after being part of our project. And if you want to be a Blue School before applying to ProBleu funding, you should know that you should address 5 criteria that are compulsory. The first one is that you should develop a project with connected activities. The second one is that you should produce a clear output, like you need to know which is the goal, the concrete goal of your project, the specific goal, and also which are the results that you want to have at the end of your project. The third one is that you should involve all the students because it's very important, the inclusivity. So it's not, the idea is not to work with a small group of students of a classroom. You should work with the whole classroom or with the whole school. The fourth one is that you should collaborate with a local partner, an NGO, a company, research center, a university, etc. And the last one is that you should communicate the results in the website of the school, in the blog, in the social media, in the local media. It doesn't matter where, but you should communicate because the idea is that the project goes outside of the school. And if you fill this compulsory criteria, you should receive this certificate, a diploma. And if you are interested in knowing which are the Blue schools that have been certified, you can check it in the European Atlas of the Sea and also in the Maritime Forum search tool. So if you want to know if there are some Blue schools in your area, you can check these websites. If you participate in ProBleu, we will help you to inspire kids and to introduce citizen science in your projects. We offer this funding that we will talk later, especially to buy equipment, to create resources, to do teachers training, etc. Things that can assure that the project that you do in the school lasts more than 1 year. We will support you to join the network of European Blue Schools. We will help you to collaborate with other schools to do twinning activities. You will be part of an international project, so your visibility will increase. And also we will facilitate you several teaching materials that can help you with your work. So the idea is to create, to give you resources to do these Blue School projects in your school and give you as much as support as we can. So now my colleague Anna will explain you a little bit how are the ProBleu funding calls.
Thank you, Ellie. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can participate in the ProBleu call. This is already the 4th one. So the first thing that you need to know is that there are different amounts of money available for different countries. This is because in the previous calls, some projects have been funded, namely in countries of Group C. So we are trying to ensure that at least most of the countries that are eligible under ProBleu can also get funded projects. So you can think about the country where you are, where your school is, and if it's an eligible country, it will be in one of these groups, Group A, B, or C, okay? So for Group A of countries, you can see there, I think it's 13 countries, Austria, Belgium, Denmark, etc. These are countries that where we don't have any ProBleu projects funded. So there are 95,000 euros for projects in these countries. We estimate that a maximum or around 20 projects will be funded for the countries of Group A. For the countries of Group B, it's more or less half of that amount. So until 12 projects can be funded. And finally, for Group C, this group includes all the countries that have been funded more than once in ProBleu. So in this group, only 4 projects will be funded, will be financially supported. Besides that, for the countries of Group C, the maximum grant amount that you can receive is 2,500 euro. So this is very important because when you want to apply to a project, you need to check, depending on the country where you are. If you are in a country of Group C, you can only ask for 2,500 euros. As for the countries of the other groups, you can ask for a lump sum, so for a financial support up to 7,500 euros. So this is something that you should bear in mind, especially I would say to consider your approval chances. So we know that for the countries of Group C, there are several countries and only 4 projects funded. For the other groups, we want to exactly to stimulate more applications and more support um, to these countries, so there are more funds reserved. Okay, so this is it. It's fine, thank you. Next slide. So for the application process, always refer to the project website, to the ProBleu website. There are several resources there. There is a part with that is called the applicant toolkit that includes all the necessary documents. That there is a one menu that is called funding calls. So through there you can also get all the information. So the first step to prepare your ProBleu application is to exactly go to the website and to download all the relevant documents. And so first of all, take a look at these documents and then discuss and try and start to work on the project idea. So which are these very important documents of the ProBleu call? The first one is the call for proposals. So this is the main document with around 12, 13 pages that includes everything, all the rules, perhaps some of the questions that you are putting right now. So what are the type of activities that are eligible? Again, in the call for proposals, you will find the group of countries and the lump sum categories. You will find the evaluation criteria. So all the main information is there in the call for proposal. So this is your main support document. Then you will find the template for project description form. This is very important. So it is a Word, a text document that is editable. So this is the document that you have to complete in order to present your project idea. There is a limit of pages that you need to follow, otherwise the application will not be considered eligible. and the template for declaration of honor, which is a very simple document that needs to be signed by your legal representative. So these are the three items that you need to download from our website. First, call for proposals, which is absolutely central. It is the key document that you need to read very carefully. Template for project description, where you will write your project idea, and template for declaration of honor, let's say, to the more formal things. So once you have these main issues and you know what are the priorities, the activities, what you have to complete in the project description form, you can discuss and elaborate your project idea. Ideally, this is done with students, as we foster as much participation from students as possible in the ProBleu and the Blue Literacy projects. So you can discuss with students, with other colleagues, again, always having into consideration the criteria that are in the call for proposals, the topics that you have selected, the rules of the financial support. So you work on your project idea and you develop your application. Next slide, please. Then you, or in parallel, you prepare the application. So what does it mean to prepare the application? Basically, it is to complete the project description form that I just mentioned. It's this Word file that you need to complete with the description of your project. You need to get the declaration of honor signed by your legal representative and complete the online application form. So in the ProBleu website, you will find, it's like a short questionnaire about your application, about your project, only with the main information of the contact persons, the school, etc. And on that online application form, you need to upload, so you need to put as annex the project description form, so the Word file with your project, and the declaration of honor. So this is what consists preparing your application. Go to the online application form and complete it, and then put in annex the project description and the declaration of honor, and then you submit your project idea until the 23rd of May. Of course, that you need to, you should absolutely not leave this to the latest hour. When we say 5 p.m. or 17 hours CET, this is Central European time, so the reference, let's say, it's Brussels. So in most European countries, this is their reference hour. For example, I am from Portugal. It is 1 hour earlier. So this 5 p.m. CET is 4 p.m. in Portugal, also in the UK. 5 p.m. in Spain, for example, and France. So as I was saying, you should submit this well in advance. Also, because you can have some errors in the submission that you need time to solve. For example, pay attention that there is a maximum weight for the annexes, for the project description form and the declaration of honor. Please be aware that you cannot choose more than 3 topics, otherwise the form will give an error and doesn't let you submit it. So this is why you should do this process, of course, before the 23rd of May at 5 p.m. CET. So next slide, please. Now it's just to give you a more concrete idea of the forms that I was talking about. The one that you find on the left is the beginning of the online application form. So this is the, let's say, the central point that you need to complete. You have there the link, so it is in the ProBleu website. This is the online application form with your main identification, where you complete the basic information and then you upload, so you put in annex to this form the project description and the declaration of honor. So the first one is the online form. The one you see on the right is the beginning of the Word template. So the template that you need to use to describe your project. You can see there the first table with the general information about the project. This information is mainly the same that you have completed in the online application form. And then after that, you have fields like the description of the project and other fields where you can describe the details of your project. You can and should always take into consideration the call of proposals. If you see there now, perhaps for you it is very small, but on point 2 in the description of the project, you can see there that check chapter 6 of the call for proposals, the evaluation criteria under this dominion. So each group of questions here in this form corresponds to a group of evaluation criteria. So you should go to the call for proposal and say, okay, let me see what am I going to be evaluated for in these questions so that I can respond or put the most important information in the form. So this is a form, the project description form. As I said, it has a maximum limit of pages, which is 21. Do not surpass this limit of pages. You can upload the file in Word or in PDF formats. It is as you prefer. Well, and that's it. Just so there are no minimum or maximum characters in each of the fields. So you can write, let's say, whatever you want in each of the fields, but you know that you have a maximum of 21 pages. So if you spend 8 pages answering to the same questions, then you probably will not have space to answer to the others. So this is a balance that you need to think of. Okay, next slide, please. So those were the examples that you will find to prepare your application. The important reminder, so it is crucial to read the call for proposals, as I was saying before. So this is the key document with all the rules, also with the main aims of these projects. What are we seeking? What do we value in terms of the school projects? Yes, please notice. So we organize these info sessions. This is the first one of this call. We will still have another 2. Of course, that our aim is to help you and to support the development of the calls. But in case you listen or you notice something that is contradictory between what we are saying here and what is the call for proposals, please note that what is valid is what is in the call for proposals. This is, of course, we hope that this doesn't happen, but because we are speaking and sometimes we may not understand each other fully, or we may not explain things very well. So this is a more immediate form of communication. So if you have some doubts about what we said, if it was clear, etc., what always prevails is what is in the document of the call for proposals, more precisely in the English version of the call for proposals. Okay, so we only produce this document in English. We know that there are several more or less automatic ways to translate documents and texts today. Of course, you can use them and you can have a better understanding. But again, if there is a very sensitive case that has to do with an interpretation of a word or a sentence or whatever, the prevailing version is the one in English, the version of the call for proposals produced by the project. So just an overview of what you may expect in this fourth and last call of ProBleu. So I think Ellie already said that, but the project entails 4 calls for proposals, and this is already the 4th one. I can also tell you that we have funded already 79 blue literacy projects. So this is now the 4th time that we are organizing this call, which is great. So the call is open. As you see in the image, you have until the 23rd of May until 5 p.m. Central European time for submission. Again, don't leave it until the 23rd. Submission means completing the online application form and putting in annex the project description and the declaration of honor. Then on the 5th of August, we will have the announcement of results. So we will have some time. Everybody will be informed. So all the schools that submit an application will receive information about the result, whether the result is that the school is being funded or not. And besides, the results will also be announced on the ProBleu website. So we publish the tables with the schools that have been funded and that have not been funded. And in the end of August, we will have the contract signature, of course, for the schools that will be funded, and the projects can start until the 1st of September. So we have here this time of results and contract signature, which is in the summer. We know that several schools will be closed in this period, but this is why we are giving more time now to between the announcement of results and the contract signature. It's almost 1 month, so that we have time to manage the absences and the need to sign the contract. These projects, please note, because the projects will start on the 1st of September 2025, so they cannot start before September. They can start after, but not before September, and will have a maximum duration of 7 months. So also when you prepare your application, you should have this into consideration, that all the projects of this call need to end maximum in March 2026. Okay, so this means that the maximum duration of your projects is 7 months between 1st of September 2025 and 31st of March 2026. If you want your project to be less extensive, so it can be less than 7 months, but the minimum duration is 3 months. Okay, so these are also the time limits that you need to consider when planning your project. This is it about the more detailed rules for you to prepare your application and think about your project. As I said, the type of financial support that you can ask falls into 3 categories. So with small, medium, and large scale projects. But as I said in the beginning, please note that the medium and large scale projects, they are only accessible to countries of groups A and B. So if you are a country of group C, you can only apply for small scale projects. This designation of small and medium and large scale, it is a bit up to you in the sense of the amount and complexity of the project activities that you are going to organize. So it is not us to define if it is a small or medium scale project. It is not necessarily connected with the duration, okay? So you can have a project, for example, that lasts for 7 months, which is the maximum duration in this call, and still be a small scale project because you only need 2,500 euros to execute this project. So it is a small scale, although it has a 7-month duration. So if a project is small, medium, or large depends on the amount of effort and budget and activities that you intend to include in that project. So you always apply to these lump sums. So these values, 2,500, 5,000, 7.5, these are fixed values. Okay, so when you present your budget in the application, you need to present it in in a way that it is at least 2,500 or 5,000, etc. And what if your project is approved, what you received is this amount. Okay, so for example, if you present a budget of 5,300, even if your project is funded, we will not give you this amount. We will give you 5,000 because you are applying for this a medium scale lump sum. So you always receive this lump sum and not the exactly amount of the project. The type of expenses that you can include, you can see there in the list. So for travel, for example, to organize study visits to the students, or to invite some expert or organization to go to your school, purchase and renting of equipment, of course, to develop some activities, to perform some analysis, whatever you want to organize, consumables, although of course we expect a smart management of this, but it can be paper or other consumables that you need. Other goods, works, or services. So here you can include hiring experts or facilitators for any kind of activity. You can always also use it to order, let's say, translation of any learning contents that you may develop. Subcontracting also, it's the subcontracting of a service. This can be if you need a small visual identity for your project, or a specific type of service that you need in your project. From what you see there, what is not eligible as a type of expenses is staff costs of your school. Okay, so the spirit of this type of projects, and the several projects in general, is that the school also does its investment in these projects. So these projects should somehow fit into the school activities. So we cannot cover to pay the salaries of the teachers that are in the applicant school, okay? Because we assume that this is already an expense that the school has, so the ProBleu grant cannot cover staff costs of the staff of the applicant organization. I think this is it from my side. Okay, sorry. Here you can also see the type of activities that you can organize. This, as well as what was shown in the previous slides, is in the call for proposals. So again, this is absolutely the key document that you need to use. So if you want some ideas of when you are developing or thinking about your project, what type of activities you can organize, these are some examples. You don't have to organize exactly these activities, and by any chance you have to organize all these activities. These are just suggestions of the type of activities that we think that fit well, considering also the aim and the spirit of this funding. So of course the data collection in your local environments, let's say, for example, about the quality of the water, animals, etc. Any kind of active activities with experts or with peer learning, so workshops, meeting, etc. The development of teaching materials, which is very much welcome, and these materials should be in open format that can be also then used by other schools. Research, creative activities, of course, are also very welcome. Documentaries, so activities that put the students in action are very important. Collaboration with other schools and also with other organizations of your community or of other communities. So all these types of activities are eligible and fit into possible activities of a ProBleu project. So you need to select up to 3 topics that are going to be covered by your project. Again, this will be in the call for proposals. These are topics that are related to blue literacy. It can be ocean or fresh waters. So these are main topics that basically correspond to general objectives that we want to achieve with these ProBleu projects. Please note that the maximum number of topics that you can choose is 3. as I said, if you choose more than 3, your form will not be submitted. It stops you from being submitted. There is no relationship between, your chances of approval and number of topics. This means that you can choose only one topic. If your project is about something more specific that, for example, is strictly related to topic 3, protected waters, it's fine. You don't have to, to make up additional topics. So don't think that for the fact that you choose 3 topics, you will have more chances of approval. You just need to, when you think about your project, you need to see in which of these topics your project fits. It can be only one, it can be 5 or 6, but you need to choose the 3 topics that are more directly related to what you want to address in your project. So this is all the, let's say, the theoretical part of how you can prepare and submit your application. You still have time, of course, until the 23rd of May. There are going to be more info sessions. You have, as it is written in the call, you have an email address to where you can write to clarify any issues. Just before that, please always remember that the call for proposals is the key document, and there is also a FAQ, frequently asked questions, in our project website, in the ProBleu website. And we also strongly advise you to check this part, because we are always adding new information to the FAQ that results from all the questions that the schools put to us in each call. So every time there is new information, we put it in the FAQ, and very probably some of the questions that you have now, you will find them answered in the FAQ. But now, for you to see more concretely what kind of school projects we are talking about. So as I was saying, we have funded already 79 projects. So this gives a very wide diversity of projects that have been funded in several countries, also, as you see there. So you can scan this QR code to go directly to that part. And I think now I will pass the word to my colleagues. And in the meantime, I will check if there are any questions that will still need to be answered. But I don't know if it is Gennady or Ellie that will take it from here. Probably Gennady.
Hello. So I
It's
will be
good.
taking it from here
Sorry,
with a few examples. Uh, so we're going to go through a few examples, and depending on your interest, you can develop a marine or a freshwater project. So the first one we're going through is a marine project which was done in Spain on endangered seahorses and their seagrass habitat. And they did this through a competition-based project. So they collected seawater data and observed local marine life. They attended workshops with experts on the species and its environment. And they designed competitions on who can, within the kids, whether they can create an efficient and biodegradable seahorse shelter. And like the winning design was then used and was installed. They also created multilingual educational videos and leaflets, and they had an awareness campaign. And the outcome was that the students gained practical skills in marine science, designing, and communication through awareness. And the best shelter design was directly contributing to sea life conservation. The next project is a freshwater project, and in this, the students collected and analyzed water samples for microplastics, which contribute data to create national water quality map. And the research and purpose was to innovate microplastic cleanup methods. And each partner school developed a unique water-related project for their community. Students also visited other schools to share their findings and project outcomes. Um, and also, like through this, the students developed an understanding of microplastic pollution, and they fostered innovative solutions to clean up the water. And there was community uh, interactions, which was very good for their project. Next. So also about small scale projects, which is 2,500 euros projects. You can design a project like this, which is so in this school they explored a diverse role of algae in coastal ecosystem and investigated their potential as a sustainable food source. So the students participated in algae harvesting outings with professionals, and they learned to cook algae with local chefs. They created art exhibitions about algae. They developed a guide and collected algae, and then they shared their findings with the city's sea festival. So they gained firsthand knowledge about algae's ecological importance and culinary uses. They developed artistic and communication skills, and they educated the community and promoted healthier diets. So also these you can find more examples based on the subjects on our website in the ProBleu Funding Applicants Toolkit. So you have the guidance and template document, which has these many examples, which is based on subjects, which might be more useful. And also we have a brainstorming template, which can help you and guide you while developing your projects. I think I'll pass it on to Gennady.
Yes, thank you. And so I will present to you very briefly our catalog of teaching aids. So in addition to what has been presented to you today, of course, our main goal of ProBleu is to promote ocean and water literacy in Europe and beyond. And to help with this aim, we have developed this online resource, and this is open to anyone. You can see the website link on this slide, so probleu.pml.space. So this is a collaboration space where you can have access to a variety of teaching materials on ocean and water literacy that is created by us, project partners, and lots of materials created by other teachers, mainly those funded by ProBleu schools, but not only. So this is open to anyone. You will find slides, spreadsheets, worksheets, videos, and so on. If you upload your own material, it will all be translated automatically to 24 official EU languages to break the language barriers. And so, as I said, it's open to anyone. You don't need to register. You just go to that website, and you can browse the materials, and you can download whatever you like, whatever you need for your lessons. And we strongly encourage uploading materials. To upload material, you need to register, and that registration is very easy. It will take you a few seconds. And if you have any questions or problems in doing that, you will find contact form on this website. So next slide, please. So as I mentioned, the catalog is created mainly for ProBleu funded schools. So if your school gets funded, then we will be happy to host the teaching materials that you create and make them available to all the teachers and educators in any school anywhere. But in fact, it is open to anyone. So I encourage you to register today and start using it. You don't have to be ProBleu funded school to use it and to share your ocean and water literacy material. So it's open to everyone. Next, please. So yeah, again, this is the web link. You write it down, take a picture, and you can see that you can browse materials by topic, and you can go to individual slides, worksheets. We have already hundreds of these, and you can start using them straight away. So thank you.
Thank you. So now you know a little bit more about our project. Remember that you have these frequently asked questions in our website. And if you have some questions, you can write us an email to ProBleu Call and try to do it before the 20th of May to be sure that we can answer your questions. So now it's the moment to open the floor. If somebody of you have questions, you can open your microphone and do them. Or I don't know if Mary want to read some of the chat questions.
Yes, we have been trying to answer some of the questions in the chat, but if you didn't receive an answer or if you still have other questions, please go ahead. In any case, the presentation is being recorded. I'm saying this also because some participants or potential participants sent an email, so the session will be available in the YouTube channel of ProBleu, and there will be a link on the project website, also with the presentation that was used today. You have the email address, as Ellie said, and there will be another 2 info sessions, I think, on the 16th of April and on the 7th of May. These upcoming sessions will be, let's say, more practically oriented. It doesn't mean that we don't present the conditions, but the idea of these 2 next sessions is to clarify some concrete aspects that you may spot when preparing your application. Okay, so you all, although you are here today, if you want to, you can come to the next sessions, but hopefully, you know, when you are, for example, completing the project description form and you have some question or you are a bit struggling about how to, I don't know, structure some part of the project, so things like that can be clarified in the next sessions.
Hello, I have a question. Could it be also about artificial lakes or only about natural water bodies? For example, in our school, we have an artificial lake and it's quite poor in species, I would say. And I thought it would be good to, to bring some wildlife to try to restore the ecosystem to.
Well, I can answer from the more, let's say, administrative part, and if my colleagues want to complete, that's fine. It definitely has to align with one of those 17 topics that you find in the call for proposals. I would say that we are enough, you know, flexible with the topics and with the type of activities that are suggested, as long as they fit into these topics and reach the overall goals of fostering blue literacy, fostering students' participation, community engagement, and in alignment with those topics. I would say that the evaluators are quite comprehensive when analyzing the proposals. But I don't know if Bianca, Gennady, or Ellie or others want to add something. Okay. And then
Okay.
I will only bring one issue here, and so one participant from Palestine asked if the occupied territories could participate, and unfortunately not. This is not defined by us. It's a condition of this program. So, but something that is possible that you can organize in your project is twinning activities. So you can apply, your school can apply and agree and plan to organize activities with another school. So I would suggest Ibrahim to you wrote, but it was only to me. So I will put this in the general chat, and if you want to also to leave your email address of your school. By some reason I'm not able to copy this, but I will try it. But anyway, if you could leave the address, it would be great if any member school would be interested to partner with Hope Flowers School. The address is hopeflowers.org. I will put for everybody, because now the answer is only going to me. Okay. Okay, in the meantime, we have here other schools. Okay, I just put here the email address and the school. And I see also a comment from Zuhal. My school, United Kids Montenegro, is also interested in twinning with European schools. If you could also write your email address. So this is, something like an open collaboration. If any of you wants to share your contact to see if there are possibilities of collaboration with other schools, of course, this is great. So you can just put the email addresses here in the chat. Just let me remind you that each application for our funding, each application needs to be submitted by one school. Okay, so there are no applications in consortium like in other European projects. One school is the applicant, but then this school in the description of the project can include activities developed with other schools. Um, so the project can include the expenses of the project, for example, can include activities developed for both schools, or for you to visit another school, or for you to receive students or teachers from other schools, but the applicant school has to be only one.
And I also recommend you to check the Atlas of European Blue Schools, or this research tool of Blue Schools, and maybe if you're interested on a training project with some specific area, you can look for some certified Blue Schools there and try to contact them and learn from their experience.
I'm just checking here another question that says, so only one school can apply from each country? No, there several schools can apply from each country, but in each application, so each project idea needs to have only one applicant. Okay, so it is that school that is applying for the project, and this school will run the project. In the implementation of the project, you can, and I would say almost you should, this happens a lot, that projects involve other schools of the same geographical area, or even other schools from other places, but the applicant is only one. But of course, that I mean, in your country, in each country, dozens of schools can and will apply, and there are no restrictions in terms of the number of projects approved from each country. It could happen that 2 or 3 projects from the same country are approved because they scored better. Okay, I think we are done, I would say.
Some more questions?
Okay, Anna, there was a question before regarding the amount of projects that can be funded. The question I received directly was if we don't have enough applications from A, the funds are going to be transferred to the group B and so on with the C, how it's going to happen.
Mhm. Yes, that is true. So if we are not able to find all the schools to fund in Group A, the remaining funds will pass for Group B, and the remaining funds will pass for Group C. The way we evaluate this is considering the threshold of 70. So you know that the maximum score of each application is 100 points. And the minimum that we consider to be eligible for funding is 70. Okay, so this means that, for example, in Group A, that is going to approve, I think, around 20 projects. If in Group A we don't find enough projects above 70 points to take, let's say, to take the funds available. Imagine that we only find 15, so all the other applications are eligible administratively, but then they score less than 70 points. Then the remaining funds will pass to Group B. If in Group B, again, we don't have enough applications above 70 points, the remaining funds will pass to Group C. Yes, so some questions here about the applicant. The applicant always needs to be a school. What happens in some countries is that, for example, schools don't have legal autonomy, so they are not, let's say, legally binding organizations because they are, for example, dependent on the municipality. So if this is the case, for example, that the school cannot have a bank account, or the school doesn't have a formal legal representative, that the legal representative is someone from the municipality. In this case, it is the municipality to sign the contract and to act as legal representative, because it is the municipality that legally manages the school. But you know, this is only something formal, because the point is that the 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 star of the protagonist of this project, so the applicant, is always the school. So it may happen that for formal reasons it is a municipality, or even in some rare cases it can be an NGO, but there needs to be a contract that passes the competencies from the school to the NGO. But this is only for formal aspects, because the applicant, the one who runs the project, is always the school. Another one, do you need to present your cost receipts for funding? No, we advise everybody to, of course, always keep records of the expenses. But you should consider that this is what is called a lump sum grant. That is why we mentioned that, we have these three intervals of 2,500, 5,000, 7.5. So these are the big sums of the grant that you can ask. So when you think about the budget, when you think about the money that you need for your project, you need to target to one of these groups. And then if your project is approved and if your project is funded, what you have to do is to implement the activities that you promised in your application. If there are major deviations, then you should write to us to say, look, an important part of the project is not going to be like this, it's going to be like that, and justify. But what we will hold you account for is the activities that you implement. We will not ask you the invoices of your expenses, but we will check if your activities have been implemented and if you have evidences like pictures, training materials, if you have evidences that these activities have been performed. Of course, that for internal accounting reasons, it is always very good if you keep the invoices of the expenses associated with the project, but this is not something that we will ask from you. Yes, the budget, as we clarified there in the chat, you receive 80% at the beginning of the project. So imagine that you receive a 5,000 euro grant, you receive 4,000 in the beginning of the project, and the remaining 20 after the closure of your project. So this means that there has to be, yes, even for small scale projects, there needs to be some investment from your side regarding the final 20%. So again, imagine a project of 5,000, you receive 4,000, and then you need to, hopefully it's not for much time, so you need to implement the whole project and spend the 5,000 euros, while we will only refund you the last 1,000 after the project is concluded. This is not probably the ideal solution for you, but also it is a way for us to manage a little bit or to ensure the compliance with the more administrative process, and to make sure that we have a chance to check your final reports and the implementation of the project. So we keep, as in other European projects, we keep this 20%, and then when you submit the final report and we analyze it, then we do this transfer of the final 20%. Okay, thank you to everybody. Some participants are still sharing their emails, which is great. We invite everybody to also to take note of these emails and get in touch with each other. It is also part of the spirit of this project. Okay, I think I'll pass the word to Ellie, maybe.
Yeah, so thank you to everybody for attending this session. We hope you are super motivated to apply our goal. And please, if you have more doubts, write us an email and we will answer you as soon as possible. And also, if you want to apply to be a Blue School during the process, also write us an email and we will help you with the application. So thank you and good luck. And remember that next week on Wednesday, we have another info session where we will show you a little bit ideas on how it's the way to best write your project. So if you want to attend it, you will be welcome. Thank you to everybody, and we are in contact.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.